best podcast, the Idlecast.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe.
Scott McDermott.
I was bit by a black widow in Hamul in my sleep.
Harrison Perkins.
Every muscle in my body is clenching right now.
And
Scott Clark.
You know, I would like to get to know a tarantula.
their mission to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Super Friends.
Good morning, Vietnam!
We'll do it live. No, we'll do it live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I'm gonna tell you what I think. Oh, I know you don't care what I think, but I'm gonna tell you. I think you are terrific.
Good morning, boys. I think you are terrific.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you recognize that?
No.
That was Kramer.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Kramer, after he'd had 3 shots of whiskey that didn't smell, and George came in.
That was Cosmo Kramer?
Yeah, Cosmo. So, anyway, I thought that was funny.
That did not sound like Cosmo to me.
Well, he'd had 3 shots of whiskey, that's why.
That explains it.
Voice
There was a season of my life where I actually had the way that he like slides in the door.
Yes.
I had that down pat.
But you can't do it now?
Well, I haven't tried for a long time. I'm just remembering it. So I need to practice it again.
Well, you'd have to have the right shoes and the right surface. And just remember, your knees are not what they were once. You only get one set of knees. Well, I mean, they could replace them, but once you get on the replacement cycle, then I'm told they only last about 10 years. So,
Really?
yeah. So you don't want to do it more often than you need to.
You also have to have the right height to weight ratio to be able to do that.
Well, if you're putting too much stress on your knees, then they're reluctant to do it. They'll make you go on a diet or Ozempic or something. How are your knees? Are your knees okay, McScottrick, from sliding and playing football?
No,
Oh, they
They are
bad?
not. They are not. My left knee is worthless.
Oh,
My right knee is good. I like it. I have a good relationship with my right knee.
But you have a bad relationship with your left knee.
Yeah.
All right.
Things happen to it.
I've tried to find different ways than running. Yeah, basketball. I mean, mine are fine, but like they pop a lot. And
Oh,
really? Yeah. I mean, like not just like, oh, that's a noise. Like, oh, I felt that, and you sort of straighten it and it goes back into place, and I don't enjoy
Ooh.
that.
Ooh, that's not.
Yeah, it's
Yikes. That doesn't sound good. I quit playing basketball at 32. Well, I mean, I played in the driveway some with the kids. Actually, 39 is when I first threw out my back. And we were playing basketball in the driveway, and it was a little chilly out, and I hadn't warmed up, and we were just, playing 3-on-3 or something. And I don't know, I kind of twisted to cover some kid, and next thing I knew, I was on the ground, and they slid me onto an old door that we had in the garage, carried me into the living room and slid me onto the couch, and there I stayed for 4 days.
wow.
So anyway, yeah, that was uncomfortable. So it only took me, not quite 25 years to figure out that I needed to go to PT and get in shape and do some things, some serious exercising. So take care of yourself.
I was sore this weekend. I rebuilt a fire pit in my backyard.
Is it where the tree is that you dug out, or is this
No. This was, so I put the pictures of the hole on X, and you dubbed it Heidelhenge, which I thought was catchy. So there was one, but it was straight in the dirt, and it was dilapidated and covered. So I pulled it up. I did what you're supposed to do, of put a layer of gravel underneath it. So some like textile fabric to prevent weeds and allow drainage, gravel,
nice,
more fabric, sand to level it, and then put bricks back in. And I did a better job of bricklaying because I needed 7 more bricks than I started with. So they were tighter when we finished than.
Oh, interesting. All right. That's
and now
nice.
I can light a fire.
And who called it Heidelhenge? Was that you?
You did.
I did?
or at least I thought you ran these social media things. So maybe one of your
Oh, no, that was
social
probably
media.
Chris. If it was on the Heidelblog account, that's Chris. The only one I run is the R. Scott Clark, and the rest are Chris.
Oh,
so
then I guess it was Chris.
Yeah.
I thought it was clever.
Well, that's because it's Chris. He's very clever. That's why he runs those accounts. He's hilarious. No, we should have him on the show sometime. He's a lot of fun.
We should record a show by my fire pit.
We could all fly to Detroit and sit around the fire pit, and
I would just drive.
you could drive. Yeah, or you could take a helicopter.
I can't actually fly to Detroit. I can only drive there.
Oh, you could helicopter. That would be fun.
I don't have a helicopter.
Oh, well, then that's a slight hindrance. Surely
But you could.
you could. I mean,
Could also swim there, but I'm not going to.
really?
Yeah.
I don't guess. Oh, I'd have to think
Yeah,
about
you
it.
swim down the lake all the way down the side. You swim all the way down to Port Huron and then jump in the river, which
The Huron
Detroit's-
River, and come right to my house.
Go up to Detroit and
Really? How close?
Yeah,
how,
the Huron
not
River
going
is
to,
right
though.
by my house.
how close
just like
is
I'm
it?
not going to fly.
Well, no, I think that would be quite a feat if you swam to his house.
Oh yeah, I'd be dead before I got in.
You'd be swimming, and then after a while, you'd just be floating.
I get a cramp after about 5 minutes and I die.
If all the currents went the right way, you could maybe float up to Harrison's house. That would be disturbing.
Yeah. That would be a lot
Just
of
end up in his creek.
providential intervention to make that.
And they'd say, "Why is there a dead body in the creek?"
Well, Scott tried to swim to Harrison's. Turned out to be a bad idea. Okay.
So you were on Presbycast.
I was. We had a lot of fun.
Good job. I enjoyed it.
As usual, I probably said things I shouldn't have said, but we get going.
I didn't appreciate how Brad mocked our show for 50%. The only reason people listen is because of our banter, Brad.
That's right. Yeah. The banter is the good stuff. Yeah. The rest
Right.
of it's fairly mediocre.
Wait, there's other things besides banter?
Yeah, exactly. How is Thea?
She is great.
You sent us some just wonderful pictures. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, she's so good. I had her yesterday,
And
most of the day, and she has me wrapped around her finger.
yes. We should have a conversation about raising daughters. I have some experience with that. They have superpowers, and it involves just looking at you. And then,
Yep. She's 4 months, and she's completely different around my wife than she is around me.
yeah. Oh, they know. Yeah. Daddy?
She's got a good smile.
Yes.
And
Daddy,
she's always smiling.
Daddy, can I have? Daddy, I
You
need.
betcha.
Yeah, exactly.
My favorite one was you reading to her. That's a great picture.
Yeah.
I actually was pretend reading because I don't know how to read. Just showing her the
There's
pictures.
a picture book. So
I used to tell the kids I had to go to work so they could have toys and oatmeal. And later they told me they felt guilty every time they played with toys or ate oatmeal because it made Daddy go to work. Oh,
that's what we're here to do, right? Is traumatize them.
yes, exactly. And it turns out you do it without even intending.
Oatmeal, huh?
Oh, yeah, toys and oatmeal. I have no idea where that came from. Some children's book or something.
I would have just said, Dad, I don't like oatmeal, so don't bother.
Exactly. You can stay home half the time. So, all right. Are we ready to answer questions?
No.
Well, we should probably do it
Yeah,
anyway.
okay. Cutting to it fast this time. There
Yeah,
you
we
go,
didn't get
Brad.
to tell stories. We didn't get to tell stories, huh? Okay, that's fine. I was going to tell you guys about how cold it was up here now, but I guess we don't
Is
do
it
that
cold
anymore.
up there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, eh?
Oh, yeah. I was in the 40s a couple of days ago. Sunday night.
It was chilly this morning. It was in the low 50s. The dog has me out in the backyard in my shorts and flip-flops, and it was last night and this morning. Last night I had to put a jacket on. It was chilly enough. So it's nice out.
Great.
Yeah.
It feels like 38 up here right now.
Ooh, that's a little chilly. The days lately here have been just gorgeous. It's the best right now. So
Yeah, it sounds great.
sunny, not too warm, a little bit warm during the day, but not too warm and cooling off nicely. Well, I mean, this is the end of summer for us. Fall. Well, I mean, it's still getting into the low 80s right now. So I don't know if we can call that autumn, but it's the end of summer finally. which, as you know, really kicks in August, September, October, something like that. I can't complain. We had a very mild summer. How is it for you, Harrison? You're not that far from him. You must have roughly similar weather, or is it dramatically different?
50, around low 50s right now.
Mm.
So I think a low of 43 today. The summer was so hot that we're not having any leaf color this fall, which is part of that's
part of the charm.
Michigan and in the autumn is supposed to be the thing because of all the leaf colors, but they're just dying and falling.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, it wasn't cool enough to get the leaves to do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. We can't enjoy their corpse decay.
Yeah. We have two colors here, green and brown.
Brown.
Mostly brown.
I just sent you guys a picture from when I walked to the office today, just so you can get an idea of what it looks like here.
All right, hang on. Oh, you have some color.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I love the red ones. The red ones are my favorite.
Those is that
Maple.
a maple tree? That's what it looked like.
Yeah,
to
it's a
me.
maple. It's nice.
We have a big maple in our backyard, and usually it's amazing. And this year it's just died and fell. And now I get to go clean them up.
Is that a Beanie Baby? Yes, no.
No, it's a pacifier with a giraffe connected to it.
Oh, nice. That's cute. Yeah. She has a very serious, almost concerned look.
Maybe because it was 37 degrees.
Well, that was the look I detected in the other picture. Like, Daddy, why is it so cold here? So, all right. Now are we ready?
All right. Yeah. Now
Still
we're
not.
ready. Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Super Friends.
Idlecast.
All right. Oh, I almost dropped it.
The coffer?
No, the email.
You got some letters.
This is from Jacob. So the ones
Yaakov.
the ones with the phone number on the top, those are text messages. But this is an email. It says, "Hello, Dr. Clark and Super Friends.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody." Back in the 60s, one of my buddies who taught me the radio business, he was Buckaroo Bobby. Good morning, everybody. Winter Mustang time, 622. KLOG Kelso.
That'd be rough to listen to.
Well, everybody sort of expected it, so it wasn't a shock. It wasn't until the 70s that you were allowed to be yourself.
What exactly is it? Like a voice modulation? Like how?
It is.
What, that's like a very particular.
It is. It's called puking, or more politely, Ron Radio. Ron Radio, along with you talk in the back of your throat. So, you're using your diaphragm. And where it comes from, I don't know, because I've listened to a lot of radio. And if you listen to the old time announcers, officially OTR, old time radio announcers, who were quite good back in the 30s, 40s, they didn't puke.
No, they were. How did they do it? How would you explain it? Describe it.
Well, they had big voices and they enunciated very clearly and they were very professional sounding. I mean, it was,
where did the sound come from? Was it nasally?
No, it was from the puking comes from the back of the throat. Everybody talks like this. You talk right to the.
But what about the guys in the 30s and the 40s?
Well, from the diaphragm.
The diaphragm?
Yeah, that came from the diaphragm.
Can you give us a sample of what the 30s and 40s guys sound like? Because I have it in my head, but I can't do it. So I want
this is NBC. Ding, ding, ding. This is the CBS Radio Network. CBS Evening News. I'm John Sedapati. It was all very serious. And
that was the 30s?
30s and 40s.
Yeah, see, that's good.
So,
wow, I missed them.
Yeah, well, old-time radio. Anyway, and then, somewhere in the 50s is where I catch it. Guys started talking like this. Good morning.
Right around the time drugs came in. Not surprised.
It just seemed to be, and it was across formats. It wasn't just top 40, which didn't really begin until 56 or so. In Cleveland is where it's typically said to have begun.
Did you know that Casey Kasem did the voice of Shaggy on Scooby-Doo?
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
He was a prolific voice actor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did.
Did you know that Mark Hamill from Star Wars
did
the voice of the Joker?
Yes.
And Hobgoblin.
He's done a lot. He's done a lot of voice acting. Actually, he's better at
After
that
he
than
broke
the
his
other.
face, he had to do voice acting.
What are you talking about?
So he was an actor, and then
Yes.
in between one of the Star Wars films, it was the one where he got mauled by that.
Yeah, it was in between the first one and the second one. That's why the
and so like that changed the trajectory of his
Tauntaun.
career was because his face got all jacked up in a car accident, and that was why they had that scene where he got mauled. And then instead of being in like movies and stuff, he went the other direction after Star Wars, and he did voice stuff.
I just thought it was because he couldn't act.
Oh no, it was because his face got jacked up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, that was early days for everybody in those movies.
Yeah, but some of the people in those movies could act. Harrison Ford could act.
Yeah, but even for him, that was an earlier
Yes, it
endeavor,
was.
not quite as seasoned as now. Alec Guinness. I mean, yeah, he was.
Alec Guinness could do a little acting. Yes.
Yeah, he was a real actor.
All right.
Yeah, here we are.
Enough.
Last thing. I know, but last thing. But this is relevant to what we just said. Okay. If you think about
You got some letters.
Well, let's read some emails, shall we?
He's talking pig Latin. I don't know what it's saying.
the series about Obi-Wan Kenobi, where Ewan McGregor is still Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he looks late 40s, maybe? Still a pretty put together, intact guy. That's supposed to be like
Intact?
8-9 years before A New Hope, when he looks 80.
Yeah.
That's a rough 8 years.
Intact.
Harrison, do you know what intact means?
That's what you use for dogs.
Dogs that haven't been
neutered.
Yeah.
So have you
They're
been
just holding together? That plane
okay.
is intact.
I thought maybe you had done some reading in a fan magazine. You knew something about you.
He was still intact when he was in his 40s.
That
It
deck
hadn't
is
been
intact.
neutered yet.
It's holding together.
Probably, I shouldn't use that particular word. It has a very specific meaning.
Intact.
I didn't know that.
Well-
I didn't know that. You can do a grammar gorilla.
I've never heard that about a human.
It can be used more generally, but I have not heard the expression applied to a human before. He's still okay.
Titlecast.
Hello, Dr. Clark and Super Friends. Your podcast has been more than valuable to me as I came to an understanding of tulip in college and thought myself reformed, leaning until joining a PCA church and listening to your podcast. Your podcast had transformed my understanding of historical Christianity, the Reformed faith, and has even led to me baptizing my children. This from someone who grew up hyper charismatic and who went to a CMA college to study ministry. My question for you is this. I understand that youth group is not biblically mandated and is a recent practice of the church. I personally benefited from my time as a student in youth group and currently help lead the youth group at my church. Do you believe that youth group is beneficial and something that Reformed churches can or should offer? I try to utilize my time to teach students biblical literacy and of the Reformed faith. Thank you for all you do and for answering my question. Well, Jacob, happy to do it. Thank you for listening, and thanks for the encouragement. Glad that the podcast series, the series to which Jacob is referring is presumably I Will Be a God to You and Your Children After You, which is
That was a very good series.
Heidelcast.org. Just click on the series link and then you'll see it there. It's also at heidelblog.org/baptism. So easy to find. So what do we think, brothers, about youth group? Good, bad, indifferent?
I try to keep my youth group opinions to myself because every time I say them out loud, people get really mad at me. So I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say.
Well, we can guess what you might be thinking here. I will say that as a young Christian in a, I guess, medium-sized SBC, about 300 people in my hometown, Lincoln, Nebraska, that being in a youth group at that time in my life was beneficial. Obviously, there were things that were said and taught and things I inferred that were probably not very helpful. But on the whole, it connected me with other people my age. It got me started in the Christian life, got me oriented to the Bible, got me reading the Bible. And so, I don't have any strong animus against them. I think a well-organized youth group can be really valuable. And I know that, when parents come to church, when they have, preteens and teens, that's something for which they're looking. And it is, in my experience, something that we have sometimes struggled to offer. I'm blessed to be in a large congregation now, so we have a whole range of programs, and we certainly have youth group for different age groups. That seems to have been generally beneficial, but I also know that there are those, Scott McDermott, who probably have reservations about youth group. What about you, Harrison?
I like this question a lot. I think it's really well framed, and it's asking the right thing. So, there's a couple of different things I think going on here that sit in the background of concerns. One, sometimes churches do treat youth group as the goal.
Yeah.
Rather than the mean. It's almost like the service even is aimed at getting kids into the youth group.
Yeah.
And at that point, if we say it's a necessary thing or even the more important thing, then I have a real problem. I don't think that's the right way. But, there are all sorts of needs in the church. And as churches grow and as things are going on, we need ways to meet them. Catechesis and fellowship are needs.
Yeah.
That Christians have and that young people have. And, we're setting aside time for those in some measure. I don't see why it would be out of accord with Reformed practices to have a time where we're focusing on, well, how do we catechize our youth and give them an opportunity for fellowship, presuming that this isn't interfering with, the main staples of church life.
Yeah, when it becomes a competing congregation.
Yeah, then that's out of place and incorrect.
Or when the youth group, is taught to worship one way and the church worships another way, and you create this incongruity between what the youth group is doing and what the congregation is doing, and you create a crisis when the young person goes to the stated worship service, right? They don't understand what's happening because we were doing this other thing in youth group, or when it becomes a substitute, for the gathered worship service, something like that.
So we have a youth group, and it meets on Wednesday, and it meets as part of our prayer meeting. Now, I know that there are discussions about prayer meetings. I actually think that even those who have expressed reservations about prayer meeting would approve of how we do it.
I will only do a prayer meeting if a woman leads it.
We're pretty well organized, but one of the things that I appreciate about what we do that I think helps is we do have a youth component, but we all start together.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So we start in the same room and we sing a psalm together. I read a portion of scripture and do a short devotional, sort of just right now. Well, now I'm working through the shorter catechism right now. And so actually they've gotten a bit longer. They're about 10 minutes rather than the kind of 3 that I was doing before. And then after that devotional, we're going through some prayer points that have been sent in throughout the week. But at that point, the youth go to the back and they pray together. And one of the things I appreciate about that is, one, it is teaching them to pray and exercise that ability according to their, capacities to, sit and be still and and focus on those things and invest in it. And they do. But it also is a way to facilitate, when they get old enough, it's not as if they transfer from
youth group. Yeah.
They were going to youth group and now they come to the adult thing. It's just, they just quit going to the back, and it's a smoother transition. Yeah. And I think we've seen profit from it. I'm glad we have it. I think it's a good way. I mean, we're getting Bible, we're getting the shorter catechism in front of our youth, and then helping them learn skills to pray. And they're still fellowshipping with each other, but also have opportunity to fellowship with older people in the congregation. I would like to think that what we're doing right now is not out of accord with traditional Reformed practices.
I mean, it probably wasn't something that was done in the classical period, right? The whole idea of youth culture is a 20th century development. It's the result of a degree of leisure and wealth that just didn't exist in the 16th and 17th centuries. So,
but they had catechesis for young people, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. But I mean, it would have been a very formal, structured thing, more like school. where the minister's functioning like a schoolmaster. People were required to recite, and minister would call on a student, and student would recite the catechism, and then minister would give an explanation, that sort of thing. So it wasn't what we think of as youth group. I mean, that's a fairly modern phenomenon as we know it. Games and songs, and kids gathered together in their own age group, and typically not led by the minister. Yes, there was certainly catechesis, but probably not like our modern youth groups.
Call or text now, 760-618-1563.
Okay, Scott. So do you have a dissenting view of youth group? We won't judge you. We just want to hear what you think. This is a safe space. It's just the three of us here. It's okay.
Usually things that we just invented recently are not going to be that great, in my opinion. Usually, most of the time. And I have yet to see youth group being done well and also beneficial for the reasons that we would want to do it. We would want to do it for Great Commission related reasons. We would want to be discipling. And anytime I have tried to do that, people just don't show up. And you put in all this effort, and you have this big thing, and you've got food, and you got this, and you got that, and no one comes. And you say, where is everybody? They say, oh, well, they had practice tonight, or they had a game tonight, or they had this tonight. And then you say, okay, well, we won't do youth group then. That's fine. And then you stop doing youth group, and then everyone says, where's the youth group? You say, well, we tried to do it, but nobody came.
Yeah.
So, well, no one came because it was boring, because all you wanted to do was catechism. I said, catechism and food and hanging out. And so I have attempted it here a couple of different times. And what we now have is just catechism on the Lord's Day. When adults go to adult Sunday school, the kids go to catechism. And that is the only thing that we have youth directed, because that's the only time I can actually get people to bring their kids to something.
Yeah, those are on the ground concerns that have my full sympathy. That doesn't sound like you are saying it's contrary to Scripture and to our standards. That sounds like you're saying pulling it off has been difficult.
Extremely difficult and frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that has my full sympathy, everything you just said. I remember getting a call from a guy, older guy once, and saying, we need a men's group. So, okay, talk to me. What's the need? So, well, it would help, this and this and this. I'm like, okay, if it meets a need, that's great. And here's the thing, I can't host it. Okay, all right.
And I can't participate.
I can't lead it. Okay, that's fine. Probably not going to come. I'm like, all right, well, now you've lost me.
Yeah.
I was with you on we can find hosting and leading options if this is a need. You just want it, although aren't going to make use of it. That's a harder sell.
It's interesting. I mean, congregational cultures vary. So I think in our congregation, because we have a Christian school attached to the church, it's a distinct entity, but I mean, physically it's attached to the church and
it's intact.
Historically, it's been very closely associated with the congregation. So there's in a sense, a built-in youth culture connected to the church because of the school. So what happens on the Lord's Day, and then in the evening we have, it used to be Calvinettes. It's GEMS, Girls Everywhere Meeting the Savior. Oh, I have some questions about some of the curriculum over the years, but that's another issue. And then we have cadets, right? So kind of Boy Scouts type thing for the boys. But I think there's just a youth group too, I think. I think so, yeah. I guess I should find out exactly what we're doing. But
in bigger churches, critical mass is easier to hit with anything
I think that's right.
Start. And smaller, congregations, which I consider, ours being within that to a degree at least. You need the same people to buy in and come every time. If you have a bigger group, it doesn't even have to be the same people every time. Just, you're going to have enough to make it worth it to do it. And it's almost just going to happen because you've got that many people who will show up by accident, whereas it's more challenging in other settings.
Yeah. I mean, when you're small, everything is harder. I mean, in Kansas City, we were 40 people, and sometimes people would say, we need a youth group. And I'd say, well, I mean,
we need youth.
Yeah, we need youth to have a youth group.
Well, that's why you do a youth group. That's how you get people to come.
Well,
it's like, it doesn't really work that way.
We've had that conversation too. Yeah, I've had that conversation. So,
well, and that is, but sometimes people expect there to be the convenience of big church functions at every size church without buying into it. And it's like, I want the program to be there so that when I want to go, it's there. And if I don't want to go, it doesn't matter. it still is a great thing over there going. And it's like, well, in some context, if you're not going, this is a very difficult thing to maintain. And we've had that discussion even at our church about because we didn't have a high school kind of group for a while. And there were concerns. We don't have a high school group. What are we going to do? And it's, well, do we have high school kids? No. Like, okay, well, when our kids get to high school, we will have Sunday school class. We will have things like we're not going to like leave there being nothing. It's just we don't have that as a need to meet right now.
As a matter of principle, to get to the question, then we don't object, the three of us, to having a time during the week when young people, however we're defining that, middle school, high school kids, early college age, you probably wouldn't put those all together in that way, but some group or groups that allows people in that age group to get together and to fellowship. There is some intrinsic value in a culture where things are atomized and where kids are feeling lonely and alienated and on their phones, to getting kids together. And I would say, put your phones, in a box. We're just going to talk. We're going to be together. And where kids are having, face-to-face conversations and having some fun and singing and praying and maybe having a little instruction from somebody who's able to do that sort of thing. That seems like something of value, if only to get kids off their phones, right? I mean, how often do you see kids at the mall or wherever standing around? They're together, but they're all looking at their phones. And as I understand it, while they're standing together, they text each other while they're standing there. They're not talking, they're texting. So it seemed that would seem to be valuable, just to get kids off their devices and learn to communicate.
Do kids still go to the mall?
Yeah, well, to some degree. Yeah. I mean, that's a fair question. I mean, the malls are in trouble. It'll be interesting to see what social space replaces the mall, because they're in trouble.
Not to mention, I have the same problems with youth group that you mentioned earlier. It starts a new congregation, essentially. You're dividing the body.
I mean, it can.
You're cutting it off by age, and you say, you go over there. And then by the time they're ready to come and be adults, they have no idea what church is actually about. So
if you do it during worship.
Only if you don't also have integrated time. If it replaces church, yes.
That's what I'm talking about, the one that is happening at the same time as church. Yeah, I've seen that in churches as well.
Full objection to that.
Amen.
Yeah, that's not good.
I wanted to just throw that in there because I agree with what Dr. Clark said earlier. I didn't bring it up when I was complaining about my attempts at youth group.
Sure.
This is the Heidelcast.
Yeah, can I say something else? What we did after we tried youth group was we tried family night, where we had families come, and there was a dinner, there was classrooms for this age group, classroom for that age group, and then adults would go in you guys call it the auditorium, we call it the sanctuary, and I would do like a Bible study or a devotion.
Yeah.
And that worked really well. We started with, we had 40 people, and this is a small church. So most of our people, half of our people were coming to it, and families were coming. And then as time went on, it got down to 30, and then 20, and then 15, and then 10. And when you ask people, why'd you stop coming? It's always something like, oh, well, we had to practice for T-ball, or we had to go to the soccer game, or we had to go do this, or they had homework or this. And it's like, so all the people that held it together when we started, they weren't consistent enough to keep it going. And it was frustrating to see something start with 40 and end with 6.
Yeah.
Because I shut it down last fall and it ended with 6.
Yeah.
So
the centripetal forces, how'd you like that? Centripetal. Pulling congregations apart are really strong. And it's a huge challenge. And I don't know that anybody's really figured that out. Just the proliferation of team sports. When I was a kid, nobody was playing on multiple teams, and certainly not playing 2 sports at the same time, right?
And Sunday there was never games on Sunday. That just wasn't a thing.
So there's a lot of competing pressures now. I mean, out here, and I think across the country, my sense is kids are just so committed, overcommitted, because of those commitments to sports or whatever activities. And then colleges, put pressure on kids to develop this impressive resume of things they've done. And
extracurriculars.
was going to say they're all going to get scholarships and go to big name schools and then because they play T-ball.
Wow, that's another issue right there that I'd like to talk about one of these days is parents sending their kids off to play Little League sports on Sunday instead of church.
Yeah, that has to stop.
So many things, right? It has to stop.
It's the Sabbath. Your kid is not going to get a major league contract, and your kid's probably not even going to get a college scholarship playing baseball. Baseball teams, even now, have, a small number of scholarships. Unless your kid's throwing, 97 miles an hour as a 18-year-old, he's not getting a scholarship. So get over it. That's just crazy.
And I'm talking about even younger. I'm talking about, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds. Yeah. Can't go to church today, basketball.
Traveling sports or team sports. Yeah, that's crazy. It's the Sabbath.
Or not even traveling, just down the street.
Yeah. Jesus was raised from the dead, and he claimed the Lord's Day, right? The 8th day.
But soccer, Scott, come on.
Soccer is great. You got 6 days to play soccer.
There's a net, and it needs a ball in it.
Yeah, and you could do that for 6 days. So,
you shall have no other gods before me.
Amen. That's the word of God. So you parents, knock it off.
Keep the Sabbath holy.
That's right.
What?
It's a day of rest and worship, fellowship, and diaconal ministry. That's what it's for.
Little League sports.
No, that's not on the list.
So we should talk about this on another episode.
Yes, we should.
If you're listening to this and you are one of those parents who is now catechizing your children into playing Little League sports on Sundays, breaking the Sabbath and having a new God in the shape of a soccer ball, then you send a question in and you ask us why that's not good. I'm challenging you.
And we'll happily talk about that for longer than we should.
Thanks for listening. Tune in tomorrow for more from the Heidelcast, brought to you by Heidelberg Reformation Association.org. Don't forget, when the coin in the coffer clinks, the cost of bandwidth shrinks. Copyright Heidelberg Reformation Association. All rights reserved. This is a Heidel Media production.
The best podcast